Did you know that this small 1-cent United States coin, also known as the penny, carries more than 200 years of American history? Many collectors search for rare pennies because some of them can be worth far more than just 1 cent. From unique mint marks to special years, this tiny coin can hold surprising value. Today, we're going to discover the story behind this fascinating penny. Let's get started. The world of coin collecting is full of small treasures, and sometimes the most ordinary-looking coin can hold an extraordinary story. Among the billions of pennies produced in the United States, the 2000 Lincoln Memorial Cent stands as a fascinating piece of modern American history. At first glance it may look like just another penny, but behind this coin lies a story of design, production, and national heritage. The penny itself has a long and proud history in the United States. The design used on the 2000 coin belongs to the famous Lincoln Memorial Cent design, which was introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln became the first real historical person to appear on a regular circulating U.S. coin, making the penny one of the most recognizable coins in the world. The obverse side of the coin features the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. His design captured Lincoln's thoughtful and calm expression, symbolizing leadership and unity during one of the most difficult periods in American history. On the reverse side of the 2000 penny, collectors can see the iconic image of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. If you look closely at the center of the memorial on the coin, you can actually see a tiny representation of the statue of Lincoln sitting inside the monument. This remarkable detail is one of the reasons why the Lincoln Memorial penny became so famous among collectors. The letter D mint mark on the coin shows that it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the main coin-producing facilities of the United States Mint. The Denver Mint has been producing coins since 1906 and is responsible for billions of coins used in everyday American transactions. In the year 2000, the Denver Mint produced more than 8 billion pennies, making the 2000 penny one of the most widely circulated coins of the modern era. Because of this huge mintage, the coin is very common in circulation. However, collectors still search for high-grade examples or coins with unusual minting errors. Some rare error versions of the 2000 penny include double strike errors, off-center strikes, and die cracks. These minting mistakes can make an otherwise ordinary penny worth significantly more to collectors. Another interesting fact about the 2000 penny is its metal composition. By this time, U.S. pennies were made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating. This change in composition actually started in 1982 when copper prices increased dramatically. The new mixture allowed the mint to continue producing pennies at a lower cost. Although the 2000 penny is not considered extremely rare, it still holds importance as part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial series, which lasted until 2008. These coins represent decades of American history and everyday life, passing through the hands of millions of people. For collectors, the true value of a coin is not always measured in money. Sometimes the historical meaning and connection to the past make a coin special. The 2000 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how even a simple coin can tell a meaningful story about a nation, its leaders, and its heritage. In the end, this small copper-colored coin reminds us that history can live in the smallest objects around us. The 2000 penny may only be worth 1 cent in everyday transactions, but its story is priceless for those who appreciate the history of American coins. Sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest stories. The 2000 Lincoln Memorial Cent may look like an ordinary penny, but it represents decades of American history, craftsmanship, and tradition. Millions of people used this coin in everyday life, yet few realize the fascinating story hidden behind it. The design of this coin belongs to the famous Lincoln Memorial Cent design, which had already been circulating in the United States for many decades before the year 2000. This design was first introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln was the first real historical figure ever placed on a regular U.S. circulating coin, making the penny historically significant. On the front side of the coin, also known as the obverse, we see the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This portrait was originally designed in 1909 by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner. His design became one of the most recognizable images in American coin history. Brenner's portrait captures Lincoln in a thoughtful pose, symbolizing leadership, strength, and unity. The reverse side of the coin shows the famous Lincoln Memorial located in Washington, D.C. This monument was built to honor President Lincoln and represents national unity after the difficult years of the American Civil War. Interestingly, if you look closely at the design on the coin, you can even see the small statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial building. The letter D Mint mark on the coin indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the main facilities of the United States Mint. The Denver Mint has been producing coins since the early 20th century and is responsible for a large portion of the coins used across the United States. In the year 2000, the Denver Mint produced billions of pennies to support the growing demand for small change in the American economy. Because of this large production, the 2000 D penny is very common in circulation. However, collectors still search for special versions of this coin, especially those in excellent condition or with rare mint errors. Some collectors look for error coins such as double dies, off-center strikes, or coins with unusual marks created during the minting process. These rare variations can sometimes make a penny worth much more than its face value. Another interesting fact about the 2000 D penny is its metal composition. By the year 2000, U.S. pennies were no longer made mostly of copper. Instead, they were produced using a zinc core covered with a thin layer of copper. This change began in 1982 because the price of copper had become too expensive for large-scale coin production. Although the 2000 D penny may not be extremely rare, it still plays an important role in the long history of the Lincoln cent series. For many collectors, these coins represent a connection to American culture and everyday life at the beginning of the 21st century. Coins like the 2000 D penny remind us that history is not always found in museums or books. Sometimes it travels quietly through our hands in the form of small everyday objects. In the end, the 2000 D Lincoln penny may only be worth 1 cent in daily use, but for collectors and history lovers, it represents a small yet meaningful piece of America's numismatic heritage. The 2007 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, is one of the most recognizable and widely circulated coins in the United States. This small copper-colored coin carries a long historical tradition that connects modern America with its early national heritage. Even though the value of the coin is just 1 cent, the story behind it is rich with history, design changes, and cultural importance. The obverse, or front side, of the 2007 penny features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln's image has appeared on the penny since 1909, making it the first American coin to feature a real historical figure instead of a symbolic image. The design was created by Lithuanian-American sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, are famous among coin collectors. Above Lincoln's head on the coin appears the motto, "In God We Trust." To the left side of the portrait is the word, "Liberty," while the year 2007 is displayed on the right side. Depending on where the coin was minted, you may also see a small mint mark such as D for the Denver Mint or no mint mark for the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse side of the 2007 penny features the famous Lincoln Memorial design. This image represents the historic monument located in Washington, D.C. The memorial honors President Abraham Lincoln and symbolizes unity, freedom, and equality in American history. Interestingly, if you look very closely at the reverse design of the coin, you can actually see a tiny representation of the statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial building. This small detail makes the coin very unique, because Lincoln appears on both sides of the coin, his portrait on the front and the statue inside the memorial on the back. The Lincoln Memorial design was created by engraver Frank Gasparo and was first introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This reverse design remained on the penny until 2008, making the 2007 penny one of the last coins to feature this classic look. In terms of composition, the 2007 penny is made primarily of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. Earlier pennies in American history were made mostly of copper, but rising metal prices forced the United States Mint to change the composition in 1982. The new zinc-based design helped reduce production costs while maintaining the familiar copper color. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. Its smooth edge and lightweight structure make it easy to recognize among other coins. Millions and sometimes billions of pennies are produced each year. In 2007, the United States Mint produced a massive number of 1-cent coins to support everyday transactions across the country. These coins were used in supermarkets, vending machines, transportation systems, and small purchases. Even though the penny has a very small monetary value, it plays an important role in American culture. Many people believe that finding a penny on the ground brings good luck. This tradition is often connected to the phrase, "Find a penny, pick it up, and all day you'll have good luck." For coin collectors, the 2007 penny can still be interesting, especially if it is found in uncirculated condition or if it contains rare mint errors. Some collectors search for coins with double strikes, off-center designs, or unusual mint marks. Another reason collectors appreciate the 2007 penny is that it belongs to the final years of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design. In 2009, the United States released special pennies celebrating the 200th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, and the reverse design changed to show different stages of Lincoln's life. Later, in 2010, the design changed again to the Union Shield reverse. Although the 2007 penny is common and usually worth only 1 cent in circulation, high-quality coins graded by professional services can be worth more to collectors. Coins in mint state condition with strong luster and no scratches may sell for several dollars depending on the grade. The penny also represents an important part of American economic history. Since its introduction in 1793, the 1-cent coin has gone through many different designs, including the flowing hair, Indian head, and Lincoln wheat pennies before reaching the Lincoln Memorial design seen on the 2007 coin. Despite debates about eliminating the penny because of production costs, it remains one of the most iconic coins in the United States. The image of Abraham Lincoln continues to remind people of leadership, honesty, and perseverance. In conclusion, the 2007 1-cent United States coin may appear small and simple, but it carries more than a century of history and national symbolism. From its portrait of Abraham Lincoln to the detailed image of the Lincoln Memorial, the coin represents an enduring piece of American heritage. For collectors, historians, and everyday people alike, this humble penny continues to hold a meaningful place in the story of the United States.